This is our world. In the real world, there is currently an obvious leader: humans. However, we are all aware of the situation that humans have brought the world into. Air pollution, global warming, wars, conflicts, fights, racism, and every kind of problem all stem from humans. Therefore, I came up with an experiment I could do in WorldBox. With the new update to WorldBox, the monoliths that have been useless for a long time now have a huge impact on the game. When these monoliths are placed into the world, they lead to species evolving, founding civilizations, building structures, creating their own cultures, and many more things. So, in this experiment, we will leave the world to grow on its own, and through these monoliths, follow how the evolving species build their kingdoms and see what kind of world emerges. Before moving on to the simulation, I have a small request. For me to create more content and for these videos to reach more people, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave a comment. Every bit of engagement really helps a lot. Thank you in advance for your support and enjoy the video. After spreading the monoliths across the world, I wait for a while. Very soon, the first animal to declare itself king is a dung beetle. Together with 4 other dung beetles, this king begins to build his kingdom and becomes the first political leader in history. Of course, after this dung beetle, many new species start declaring themselves king. Not all of these kingdoms are successful though. A grasshopper, for example, declares its own kingdom around Europe, but since no one pays attention, it quickly gives up and shuts down its kingdom. Lots of other insect species share the same fate. The first kingdom that looks like it might succeed is founded by wolves in North America. Building their homes quickly, even starting to farm, the wolves seem like they might become the first real civilization. Similarly, in South America, chickens, neighbors to the first dung beetle kingdom, also seem to be laying their foundation despite being fewer in number. Building coop-like houses in their own style, the chickens look quite promising. Another kingdom that catches my eye is in Australia, founded by crabs. The biggest advantage of these crabs is that they have no rivals on the continent. In the lands that are today Russia, wolves and chickens are neighbors once again. This kind of neighborhood doesn't seem very promising. The chicken and dung beetle neighborhood in South America also grabs my attention again. Although chickens are known for eating bugs, for now they are keeping their distance from eating these dung beetles. The last interesting kingdom that stands out to me is the one founded by foxes in North Africa. This kingdom is larger in population than the others, but almost no structures have been built. Growing only by relying on population growth, we will see how the foxes progress. At this point, I leave the world alone for quite a while and simply watch the development of all these kingdoms. After many years, the first species to bring tension and war into the world are the foxes. Settling firmly in Africa and wanting to wipe out the neighboring beetles, the foxes start the first war in world history against the dung beetles. Crushing them quickly, the foxes cleanse Africa of beetles and become the first species to expand their nation. While this war is taking place in Africa, something else catches my eye in Asia. Our closest relatives, monkeys, who hadn't showed up until now, found a state in Asia. This state seems good in terms of territory, and the monkey population is rapidly growing. Something else that draws my attention in the Fox Kingdom is that in a short time, hundreds of cats have settled in Foxlands, but none of them are citizens of the Fox Kingdom. I wonder if this will become a problem later, but for now, it doesn't seem like an issue. The newly founded Monkey Kingdom quickly declares war on their rabbit neighbors, who have a much smaller population. Very quickly, they destroy the Rabbit Kingdom, but do not expand into their lands. Instead, mice immediately seize the empty territory. The problem of non-citizen cats in the Fox Kingdom seems to be getting worse. Not only cats, but also bisons, chickens, and many other animals roam freely despite not being citizens. Some of these animals are even armed, sometimes killing foxes themselves. Although unrest seems to be growing, the foxes do nothing about it for now. The monkeys then declare war on the mice to their north. Clearly in love with war, the monkeys quickly win this war too, and this time make sure to expand into their lands. Immediately afterward, they also attack the newly established Mouse Kingdom. Very clearly targeting the mice, the monkeys expand rapidly and almost take over all of Asia. Looking at the world as a whole, the general situation is like this. In terms of population, the largest country is the chickens located across Eastern Europe and Western Asia. Having remained quiet until now, the chickens stand strong with 497 population. In second place are the foxes. With a population of 400, the foxes look quite powerful and are the sole owners of North Africa. Though fewer in number than the chickens, their vast lands give them great potential, and if they avoid internal issues, they look like contenders for victory. Despite being a new kingdom, the monkeys have shown serious growth and are in the third place. War-loving monkeys acted almost like humans since founding their kingdom. In Australia, the crabs still rule. Staying away from trouble, the crabs continue their island life in a very peaceful way. In North America, there is still only one kingdom. The wolf kingdom, founded at the dawn of the history, continues to rule. So far, they have not interfered with any other species. In South America, chickens and dung beetles remain neighbors. This interesting coexistence has lasted from the very beginning of history and continues to this day. We must give credit to this dung beetle kingdom as well, since they survived since the dawn of history and are the only insect kingdom still standing. After this summary, I start the simulation. Apparently, we brought bad luck, because the wolf kingdom in North America declares war on the chicken kingdom in South America. This war causes great destruction, but ends without resolution, turning into a long-lasting conflict. Meanwhile, the foxes who previously had a population of 400 seem to be in trouble. Their population has dropped to around 100, and when we look at their territory, we see at least as many other species as foxes living there now. One of these other species kills a fox right before our very eyes. The world falls silent again for a while. But not for long. After managing to recover their population following internal turmoil, the foxes begin working to become the sole rulers of Africa. Starting a war to drive chickens out of southern Africa, the foxes succeed greatly, spreading their territory across the entire continent and showing their power. At the same time, the monkeys continue to grow. Expanding their population rapidly, the monkeys declare war on their chicken neighbors the moment they surpass them in population, sparking the most destructive war the world has ever seen. With plenty of magic and deadly weapons used, nearly 500 lives are lost on both sides within days. Seeing the chickens collapse, the foxes also join in, attacking the chickens and seizing a piece of Western Europe. No longer able to endure this heavy war, the chickens surrender part of their land to mice, while the rest is taken by the monkeys. Thus, despite losing a fifth of their population in this war, the monkeys come out victorious and massively expand their territory. During the period of recovery that follows, my eye catches sight of conflict in the Fox Kingdom once again. At first, I can't tell who or what the foxes are fighting, but soon realize that they are battling skeletons. I have no idea where these skeletons came from, who raised them, or what their purpose is. But one thing is certain, they pose a serious problem for the fox's development. And as I expected, while the foxes are busy with the skeletons, the monkeys immediately declare war on them. Hundreds of monkeys and hundreds of foxes clash endlessly. The monkeys first drive the foxes out of Europe, proving that no one can rival them in war. Destroying the fox population at a terrifying pace, the monkeys become the sole rulers of Europe, Asia and Africa. Although the skeleton outbreak spreads into the monkey territory as well, the monkeys crush them swiftly with little loss. Growing terrifyingly fast, our close relatives soon manage to conquer the entire world. However, our relatives are no better than us. After eliminating the other species and becoming the sole rulers of the world, one of the first things the monkeys do is start a civil war. From this point on, I think that even in a world without humans, as long as there are monkeys, wars will continue and peace will never be achieved.